Good morning. Welcome into Sports Sunday right here on 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, 99.5 HD2, YouTube, and Twitch for the kids. I am Joe Fisher the third. Across the glass, of course, as always, I got Jordan Schultzy with me in this AM. How we doing today?
Happy Sunday, bro. Who do you think you are? I am. I think I'm just going to start repeating that every Sunday because that clip, man, that bowler. I can't remember his name, but screaming at a kid, I think, in the crowd that supposedly made a gesture at him or something. Like, God, I just want to be that guy. I want to be that guy.
God, the name is escaping me.
He's a bowler. Who cares?
Yeah. All I know of, I know one professional bowler's name, Norm Duke. That was a professional bowler at one point. Really good one.
Norm
Duke. This dude, who you think you are, I am. God, it's killing me. But yeah, I mean, it will get the juices flowing. It will get the juices flowing in the morning, and especially on this Sunday where it's as far as sports go. Pete Weber.
Good.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that guy, Pete Weber.
Yeah,
totally just struck a chord in my brain.
Classic Pete Weber. Yeah, I mean, this Sunday morning, it is the final day of Olympics action, winding down. We are getting some preseason football. We do, of course, have MLB baseball, but this is the last little Sunday, the last bastion of sporting that we have until NFL regular season, basically. I mean, the Olympics, thank God for them this year. They have made the dog days of summers a little bit more bearable. I mean, that's
fun.
Yeah, you got to be thankful for that.
But I'm stuck watching preseason football yesterday instead. No, I would have rather watched the men's marathon and the handball championship, and I think the bronze medal match of the United States water polo team. That happened at 1:30 a.m. last night. Live watched it. It was awesome.
Yeah, the Olympics, they've done a great job of keeping me happy with sports consumption. Again, I love baseball, but it can only do so much during the summertime. It can be rough. So the Olympics have done a great job of that. Some of the moments that have come of it, but boy, I mean, there is one over the last few days that has just taken the internet by storm. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for the competition itself because when you're looking to put it on the map and show people how I guess good of a quote unquote sport it is and how cool it is, and try and earn some respect for it. Give it a name, and then you have the breakdancer from Australia go out and put on the display that she did.
Wow.
I haven't looked into. I know that she somehow won a competition to qualify for that. But
did she really?
I'm just wondering who she knows or who her parents know, or because you're telling me in the entire country of Australia that was the best person that they could run out there.
I mean, it was embarrassing. It didn't even look like they knew. It's like what they were doing. It's like somebody coming in who'd never hosted a radio show before. Say hi. I'm on the microphone.
Some of the memes and tweets that were coming from the video and the highlight, well, I guess you could call them highlights, of the Australian breakdancer are just fantastic. It's been a highlight of the Olympics. One of the top 10, top 5 moments perhaps of the Olympics. The Australian breakdancer. I mean, I can't think of a whole lot. Well, one great thing about the Olympics is obviously highlighting the athletic prowess of some of the athletes around the world. But, my God, it is the down bad Olympics because there are just tens everywhere you look, every competition.
Oh, my God. You're not kidding. I don't know if you saw the long jump, especially the female long jump. Whew! I mean, you got to have muscles in a particular region on your body to really succeed in the long jump, and boy do they, Joe. Boy do they. And lots for the ladies to enjoy as well, or men looking at the other men. If you're into that, it's fine, nothing wrong with that. There's big old junks sticking out.
And
of
there
those Speedos, of those whatever they're tight shorts, whatever they're called. It's a smorgasbord of viewing for everyone.
I'm glad you noticed that, Jordan. But what is it? We talked about the guy with the pole vault last week.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That his pole got in the way of the pole vault.
Yeah, the French pole vaulter.
I could not corroborate this story in time, as we do in today's society. I just read a headline and did no further research into it. But apparently, that dude was offered a porn deal.
Of course he was.
For like $250,000 or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of the going rate for somebody that's like not known before this kind of thing happens. I think if you're like a little bit bigger of a star, or if you're like an Instagram hot woman, the offer is right around $1 million. But hey, man, take that junk, $250,000. That's free money, bro. For what, 30 seconds worth of work? Take it.
That's got to be one of and also a top 10 list moment of the Olympics is that dude's junk getting in the way of the pole vault.
No kidding.
This might be good for the text line here. 503-864-6326, the Vancouver Ford text line. Text in your favorite Olympics moments of this 2024 rendition, because a lot of like great athletic moments, but as well as a lot of Australian breakdancing moments as well. I mean, it was that's the great thing is the Olympics they especially in the viral world of 2024, there's plenty of great moments that we miss out on. And the competitions, the games are great, but then there are moments as if there's the pole vaulter and then the Australian breakdancer where it's just those start making the headlines. But yeah, also easy on the eyes. Very easy on the eyes, this 2024 Olympics.
I love it, except for the breakdancing. I think we can all agree that 2028 should not include breakdancing in the Olympics. This should not be an Olympic sport. The thing that we see a dude doing outside the mall, and I'm not saying it doesn't involve athletic talent and ability and skill, because it obviously does, but then under that same umbrella, ballroom dancing would be like a qualifier, like for some kind of Olympic event then, right? Like that takes crazy athletic skill, like Dancing with the Stars kind of events. Well, like you're not fat doing those.
Hey, they let horses dance for medals, right? Dressage. So why not let humans dance for medals?
Because it looks stupid. Because how do you judge it?
Well, again, there's a lot of sports in the Olympics where I don't know how to judge it either.
But is this a true
synchronized swimming? I don't know how you judge that,
because it is actually a sport, and there's some. I mean, I think trying
but how do you judge it? That's the thing.
Perfectly aligning with the what is it, 8 or 6 others that you're swimming with? I think,
or it's sometimes just 2. They have the dual synchronized swimming where it's just 2 chicks out there.
There was I think a couple of Olympic events that had a single synchronized swimming event. I S you not. For some reason, in the early 1900s, we thought that a single person synchronized swimming was actually a thing.
We got the final medal count as well. I can get to that in a second. But as we talk about physical feats and athletes being able to accomplish something that they've been training their whole life for, they've been working forever for, I feel like I've been working up towards this moment myself. And this goes to the poll question on 1080 The Fans Twitter page. Sports Sunday poll question brought to you by Taco Town. Have you seen the SNL skit of Taco Town?
What? It's been a while. You're going to have to refresh my memory.
It's a taco wrapped in a soft shell
taco.
You. But wait, we also put that in a hard shell chalupa shell with wrapped in guacamole. But then we baked it in a corn husk and filled that with beans. Oh, but wait, we also put that in a pizza. Pizza? Now that's what I call a taco.
Exactly.
And then we put it in a carry bag filled with vegetarian salsa.
No, that
Taco Town!
Thank you. No, you refreshed my memory just fine. That is a funny bit.
So Sports Sunday poll question brought to you by Taco Town. How many street tacos could I eat in one sitting?
Ooh.
Stipulations are on this. Double tortilla, because the street tacos, they usually have the you got to go with 2 tortillas, so that way the one tortilla is not breaking after one bite and then it's just spilling out all over the place. So double tortilla, meat, onions, cilantro, sauce is acceptable. So if I want some sort of green sauce, my favorite, a habanero sauce, which could make things more difficult. for the sake of the competition, I might have to omit the habanero sauce.
Throw a little sprinkle of cheese on there. I could probably eat at least
A little
15.
cojita, as
No.
you call it.
No, shut up. I don't want my Kojita cheese, and I'm gonna go sit next to Bam Abadayo, and I'm gonna say everything I know wrong, how to say it incorrectly. But no. Like
I will say that still lives in my head when I'm at the store. I was looking for some taco ingredients the other night, and I was like, "Oh, where's the Kojita cheese?
I'm glad that I can live rent free in your head, even if it's just a misnomer.
Some
like
Kojita."
That. God.
Yeah, cotija cheese.
Cotija. Excuse me.
I omitted the cotija cheese the other night because I knew that I was like, listen, I'll use it for these street tacos and the tacos I was making, but chances are that I will not use it again for like the next like 2 weeks or something like that. And then
throw it on salad or anything?
I guess so. I'm not a big salad guy.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I love
what
salad.
mayonnaise?
I love salad. I just don't make enough of it.
Yeah, on the Vancouver Ford text line, if there's any dude that's eating salad not because their wife is pushing them to do so, I'd love to hear about it because there's probably very few and far between, except the jacked 6'5" dude running outside of my neighborhood this morning. That guy probably eats a ton of salad.
I will say, sales boss Ryan Cooley, he is a big salad guy.
Big salad. Well, but is his wife doing like that for him? Is she making him eat it, or is he like just, dude, I love salads?
I'm gonna guess that it's his wife,
Yeah,
but he's got some good looking salads sometimes.
See, and that's the key. If you can actually, and not just pour dressing on the salad, but kind of vary it up a little ways. Do like a little Mexican feel, some tortilla strips in there one day, and then the next day you kind of go maybe an Asian feel, some of that balsamic vinaigrette.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Vary it up. It works. It can be good, but most of the time I feel like the wifey's really helping that. Nothing wrong with that, but us dudes just don't like the greens, man.
My girlfriend has a salad book of just different salads that you can.
Really?
Yeah, and she made one a couple weeks back where it was like, what is it, burrata cheese?
Yes, burrata. It's the
Burrata, and it had like peaches in it also.
Oh, wait. The peaches in the burrata or like with the...
No, like in the salad.
Oh, see, I'm right out on fruit on salad. Right out.
Really? Not even like an apple walnut or pear walnut or like cranberries and nuts on there as well?
No, I can't do it. The sweet and savory, which that... I get it. That's, flavor combos or, gastro... whatever science says that we're supposed to enjoy these flavors together. I don't always enjoy the crunch of an apple with some lettuce. It's just weird to me. So maybe I'm just too much of a fatty.
Yeah, text line, Vancouver text line says, sign me up for all the potato and macaroni salad. I don't think that's the kind of salad.
Exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
And I hear you. You give me some Hawaiian mac salad.
Oh my God, yes.
Dude. But for the sake of the poll question, let me read the number options. How many street tacos could I eat in one sitting? Because I've been talking about this for months now, that I want to attempt this, because I just feel like whenever I go out to a food truck or somewhere that has street tacos, I order my 4 and then I finish them, and
You're a 4 guy. Okay.
Yeah, I go 4, but whenever
I go 3 in a burrito.
See, that's impressive. See, you equate that burrito into street tacos, that's probably another 3 street tacos.
I mean, it's just bean and cheese, so it's usually kind of the smaller option. I just, dude, I'm weird. I love a good bean and cheese burrito. So.
I'm going, so these are the options. How many street tacos could I eat in one sitting? 8, 10, 12, 14 plus.
Ooh.
Right now, we're 34 votes in. It is 35.3% are going to 10 street tacos. Even split between 12 and 14, and then 8 is 11.8. I think I could definitely do 8 pretty easily. I've done 6 before. I think I've possibly done 8 before camping one time. So I think the over-under should be placed at, I'd say 10 and a half. 10 and a half would be a solid number.
I'd probably go over that. I think the 14 plus is where I'm lying. I mean, seriously, dude, just give me a little bit of good sauce on there.
Let's up it. Let's get that up to 11 and a half. I think 11 and a half is that's a solid number to stay on.
12.
But
12 or more.
With this being said, I do want to know what are some of the best street tacos in the city, because I know there are some, and there's a Netflix documentary. I want to say it's called The Taco Chronicles. That I tried to watch.
It's like a docu series, and I tried to watch that, I think.
Yeah, 3 seasons of it?
Yeah, you can't. It's kind of the
Wow.
same thing after like a certain amount of episodes. Not that it's not yummy, but you just kind of move on to something else.
They have 8 episodes in season 3?
Jeez, that's how do you. This is all tacos. Hey,
Now that's what I call a taco.
yeah, what a pizza taco. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be in there one of those episodes,
It
the
better
Taco
be.
Town Taco. Taco Town! Oh my god. Yeah, please text in any street taco places within the city of Portland. Newburgh's got like 20, it seems like.
We've got one down the street.
Oh yeah, there's one right over by the Dutch Bros.
I think
that
they
I've
only
gone to a
it's like
couple
$2 or
times.
$3 per street taco.
I don't think it is. I
No?
think I want to say the last time I went, it was like $4, and I was like, that's
I think
unacceptable.
they raised the price $1.
That's-
Souk bought me a taco last year, and it was only like $3.
Well, as inflation goes, the price of taco also increases.
The taco index. You
Yeah.
got to update me on what the taco index
Exactly,
is, baby.
yeah.
I need to know about my market plans based on my taco numbers.
All right, let's get to going here. We have some U.S. Stuff to get to. USA. Team America, F yeah. We also have some rookie quarterbacks to get to. I also wanted to look at, because I believe we have some of the coaches polls, different college football polls that are starting to come out with the top 25 teams. I want to start getting slightly aroused with some college football and the schedule that we got ahead. Some games that are on that week 0, week 1 slate, because we are so close. So close. I'm right there. We are edging college football season right now. I don't know if I can say that on air, but it's too late at this point. And then we got another division to get to. Let's get to everyone's favorite division, the AFC South, huh?
Oh, yeah. Huge fan here.
Who doesn't love the AFC South? With, I think, 3 of the 4 newest teams that have been introduced into the league, with the Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Indianapolis Colts. We'll get to that in the second hour. But first, France, they're known for their food. They're known for their chefs, but they don't have a Chef Curry. We get to that next here. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Fred Meyer.
Sports Sunday with Rashad and Joe on Portland's Sports Leader, 1080 The Fan.
2 U.S. gold medals in basketball. No, not the 3x3, unfortunately. Actually, I don't even know if the women 3x3 team won a gold or not.
No, they did.
I
I
know
think
the
they won the
men.
bronze.
I know the men did not, but
Actually, the 3x3 women's basketball team, I think, has some hope if Haley Van Lith's going to be back for them next year or next Olympics. She might be on the actual full basketball team because she'll be in the WNBA. But she good. She good, man.
I think it would be hilarious if in 2028 they asked Caitlin Clark, hey, do you want to be on the U.S. women's basketball team? She's like, no, but I'll do the 3-on-3 team.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that like just an FU to Dawn Staley and all the shade that she's been throwing Caitlin Clark, then trying to make up for it like a couple of weeks later. But the men need to refigure their 3-on-3 roster. Maybe get some college kids in there.
Yeah, they need to step it up from old man Jimmy Fredette and Canyon Barry. I think
That was
we can
awful.
do better. We can do better as a nation, my fellow Americans. But first and foremost, congrats to the U.S. women's basketball for escaping by the skin of your teeth against the French women. I mean, my God, they were halftime score was 25-25. They ended up going behind in the third quarter. To France. The French took a lead, and then U.S. had to claw back into it. But, boy, they were inches away from this getting sent to overtime. If they miss a free throw there at the end, then, and again, inches, the French basketball player is right behind the third 3-point line, rather, then the French women are winning this. So at the end, 3.8 seconds left, USA hits a free throw to go up 67-64. The French inbound it, get it up court, and she throws up a shot, the French player, I don't have her name, excuse me, and she makes it. She banks it in, but it is a Kevin Durant Eastern Conference Finals moment where her foot was on the line and actually just above the 3-point line. So the U.S. women's ends up winning by 1 point, 67-66. If her foot is literally just 1 foot, maybe even a few inches back behind the 3-point line, then they would have tied it and sent it to overtime. But the U.S. women's team, they escape 67-66, and they get the gold medal. So that was game 1 of 2 in basketball, U.S. versus France, for the gold medal. Then we had the game yesterday, the U.S. men's team versus the French basketball
That
team.
was some viewing. Oh my goodness.
What a
that
great
was some
game.
primetime viewing.
That
man.
was a great game overall from beginning to end. I mean, it seemed like the biggest lead that the U.S. ever got out to was maybe 13 points, 14 points, something like that.
It was, I think, early France had the lead, and I think
I remember France getting a lead on a layup or something like that, and they had to take a timeout.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the French team, they definitely, they did not give up the entire way through. And we saw it at the end. They cut it to 3 points.
Yeah, and it was to 6 at 3 different points in the game as well. So.
Yeah, it was a great game back and forth where the U.S. men's team, whenever you thought that they were going to start putting the team away, the French just came back. And then we got to the fourth quarter. And I don't know where this ranks as far as his basketball career moments, but what Steph Curry did in that fourth quarter, damn near making every three-pointer he threw up, and then capping it off with that final three-pointer that finally put the game out of reach, where he was being double guarded, put on a dribble move, step back, let me throw this ball and have it touch the ceiling of the stadium and drop in perfectly. That dude... One, isn't it nice rooting for Steph Curry?
Actually, yes. No, you were rooting for all of the villains of the NBA last night.
What a concept!
I know.
Being able to root for Steph Curry for once in your life.
What a cool combination of actually getting to see LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry on one team
That's what
playing for something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like weeks ago, when they showed up to Vegas to start training, and the videos were coming out of them like all meeting with each other in the conference room at whatever hotel and high-fiving, and I was like, all right, I'm in. I am totally like, yes, this is awesome. Seeing these guys all play together, because a lot of these players I don't like when it comes to NBA, right?
Devin Booker's very easily hateable. Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
LeBron and Anthony Davis, they're Lakers. I mean, Steph Curry, what he has done to the NBA for years now, right?
Did you see the Tyrese Halliburton post on X after the game?
Oh, what is it? Like when you do nothing in the group project and still get an A?
Yeah, with a picture of him holding his gold medal and grinning. I love you, Tyrese. I am a fan. Good job leaning into that, buddy.
Well, he was just vibes guy this entire gold medal run. Like I don't know how many minutes, if any, he played. Maybe some in group play. But again, that dude was just happy to be there, 100%.
I know, like the Tatum memes started to go viral because of his frowning attitude in that game one. Like Halliburton's just like, hey, this is cool. No big D.
But also, when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton, looks like he enjoyed himself last night because there's video going around of him and Anthony Edwards arriving at a club or some function in Paris last night. And they arrive there, and the vehicle opens up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snow bunnies make their way out of the vehicle, followed by Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Edwards. So it looks like they enjoyed themselves. Some of the French women in the area last night had some company with them to their to the clubs, to the VIP section.
Oh, I'm sure they had so much to talk about.
Yes, exactly. It was a lot of personalities matching up there,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah. Tell me what your sign is. Yeah, what did you study in school?
Good for them, though.
God.
Good for them.
It is good for them. I was wondering what they were going to do last night. And it's funny.
They did. They did things. That's for sure.
You don't see the pictures of like Braun and Steph, who were the older dudes. I kind of wonder what they did. Like I know Steph obviously was there with his wife.
They drank a bunch of wine and then ended up going to bed. Probably is what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna you know what? Never mind. No, it was fun. It was fun to see all those guys winning, but I do wonder what the old guys did to celebrate. But seriously, what a game! I just could not believe the story of everything coming together like it did. After a week ago, I'm telling people to go hedge their bets, maybe throw some money on France. Like I think they were plus 1,400 to win the gold medal at the start of this Olympic tournament in group play. And yeah, so $10 would have won you $140. And the fact that there was actually a shot for them to pull that off, I think Yabusele was his name, along with Victor Wembanyama. I believe those two combined for almost 50 points for France. Like those two almost single-handedly beat the United States and won the gold for France in their home turf. And honestly, if it weren't for their lack of hitting free throws and if they could shoot the three just a little bit better during that game, Joe.
Yeah, they couldn't really make any three-pointers, it seemed like.
No, it would have been a much different story. At the end of the first half, I think they had shot the same. Both the U.S. and France had shot the same amount of shots exactly, and it was just so bad on the three-point side. I think the U.S. had hit half of theirs at that point, and the French were under a third. So you're just not going to win a game if you're not hitting those shots. But it was still close, man. And Victor Wembanyama, playing on this stage, scoring as many points as he did, hitting those threes. I wish that he would have maybe used his size and like taken it to the hoop instead of just jacking up some of those threes at the end. Might have been a different story, but we are in for a crazy future of basketball, my friend.
Yeah, and that goes to show, like, obviously we lose LeBron, KD, and Steph. Someone at the place I was at yesterday watching the game, they said, is like, does LeBron come back for 2028? I was like, it's a move I could totally see him pulling, but also he's probably going to be 2 years retired at that point.
Isn't his roster
from
spot
basketball
too valuable? Yeah.
Like,
that's tough.
And as far as age goes, he'll be what, like 43? 44
yeah,
at that
that's
point.
tough.
Like,
How do this is the Olympic roster? We're talking what, 13 guys? Nah.
And also, straight elder abuse on him yesterday. The Gershon Yabusele.
Yeah.
That dunk. Oh my God. That was one of the. You want to talk about top 10 Olympics highlights? France might have lost the game, but that dude has a highlight for the rest of his life that he can show his kids and grandkids of him just blamming all over LeBron James.
I posterized LeBron James.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Dude.
So awesome.
I hope he has multiple bottles of Bordeaux in his future. That dude should never have to pay for a drink again in the country of France after doing that. That was amazing.
No, he's so good, honestly. It's like that's the great thing too about the Olympics is you see these international players that you never hear about before international play or FIBA World Championships or Olympics competitions like this, and it's like, oh, Yabusele, like, and that kind of also reminds you how good the players in the NBA are because he's not in the NBA.
You're like, who?
Yeah, he'd rather be making $5 million a year in France as opposed to the league minimum here trying to make a roster. Like, this is how good these basketball players are that aren't even in the league.
Well, I will say the French Ben Wallace, he might be getting some calls from NBA teams after yesterday's game because he was good outside of that one highlight. But
You thought that too? You thought, yeah, as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh,
I was
Ben
like,
Wallace
dude,
is back.
yeah, the French Ben Wallace, let's go. But overall, I mean, again, that game was encapsulated by Steph Curry and really the run of this tournament at the end of the U.S. men's team. I mean, he had what? How many points against Serbia? Like 36, I believe he finished with against Serbia.
And like another 8 or 9 threes, something stupid. And he had 8 threes in the final game.
Yeah, he just went off. Again, it is very refreshing to be able to root for him, and I now understand why Golden State fans have been so damn annoying for the last 15 years, because when you have a dude like that is able to just rip the heart and soul out of an entire country in a matter of minutes, and the way, like, and I've said this before, I remember some golf highlights of his, is like, his brain needs to be studied as far as, like, the part that controls accuracy in your brain.
No kidding.
And for you to have that muscle memory to be able, because again, it translates from golf to basketball to damn near everything he does in life, is everything is so pinpoint accurate. That is like, what part, the medulla oblongata, what is it in your brain that is able to control you being that accurate all the time? Like, it's just like they're always cash, no rim.
And
that
so
final
quick.
3-pointer, yes, exactly.
So quick with the wrist. That last shot, I mean, I told my wife with 2 minutes to go, I'm like, after that first 3 out of 4, I don't think Steph is missing for the rest of the game. He looks like he's on one. And then that final 3 where you said he kind of threw it like up to touch the ceiling on the highest point of his arc before it bounced in, that one didn't look like it was going in, and it still went in. It's just unbelievable.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. So the U.S. men's basketball team, they bring home the gold, as they should. I believe now that's 17 total gold medals for U.S. men's basketball compared to 4 for the rest of the world in the Olympics since they started playing basketball. So
Something like 56 Olympic wins in a row for the U.S. men's team as well.
I think it was the women's team.
Oh, women. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad. I'm transposing those. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Hey, credit to those ladies. That's badass.
And I saw that graphic this morning when I got in, was that, yeah, I mean, that was what was at stake in that game against the French women, too, is winning that game extends their international streak of 56 straight wins.
That's crazy.
That is wild. So, double victory, double gold for basketball in the USA yesterday. Congratulations. And the U.S. medal count, they are now tied as far as golds go with China at 40, but they absolutely blew out the overall medal count, I think, by like 40 medals. So.
Doesn't that irk you, though, that the golds are still tied with China? As an American, that irks me. I feel like we just needed one more.
Hey, I wouldn't expect anything less from China. They're like, no, we do not do anything less than gold. All right, we win. All right, silver, bronze, that is not acceptable to us.
Their male high diver yesterday that won gold, he was perfect. I mean, wow, no splash. That was pretty fun to watch too.
All right, we got to catch up, take a break. Let's get to some preseason NFL football. Rookie quarterbacks, they were playing in droves yesterday. Let's talk about a few of them. Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, the whole lot of them. We get to that next here, Sports Sunday. But first, Jordan Schultz with a Sports Center update.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, the United States men are Olympic champions on the hardwood after beating France in the gold medal match last night, 98-87 the final. LeBron scoring 14 points while Kevin Durant and Devin Booker adding 15 each. Steph Curry, though, the story of the game, 24 points, 8 of 13 from three-point land, including the final 3-pointers to seal the win for the United States. Victor Wembanyama going off for 26 points for France in the losing effort. The ladies also winning gold earlier this morning. They slipped by France 67-66 thanks to 21 points from Asia Wilson. Kelsey Plum added 12 off the bench. Their international winning streak now stands at 56 games. In the NFL, the Seattle Seahawks beating Jim Harbaugh and the Los Angeles Chargers 16-3 yesterday in their opening preseason matchup. Neither Geno Smith nor Justin Herbert played, but backup Sam Howell threw 130 yards and a touchdown for the win in the win for the Seahawks. And the Seattle Mariners handling the New York Mets 4-0 yesterday. The final beating Sean Manaea, getting it done with a couple of RBIs from Justin Turner. They get the series win along with now tying once again the Houston Astros atop the AL West for first place. They will hopefully go for the sweep tonight. For the first time in 20 years, the Mariners being featured on Sunday Night Baseball. It's a 4 p.m. first pitch on ESPN. Luis Severino and Luis Castillo on the bump. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
The original home of The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays 9 to noon, 1080 The Fan.
Dusty here.
NFL rookie quarterbacks were playing a ton yesterday all over the field, and we actually have one more set to play here in about 20 minutes, and that is Bo Nix. He will kick off with his Denver Broncos at 10 o'clock on NFL Network against the Indianapolis Colts if you're looking to go catch the former Oregon Duck quarterback with some preseason action. But we had Caleb Williams, we had Jaden Daniels, we had Drake May, we had J.J. McCarthy all take snaps yesterday in preseason action. Let's start first with the first overall pick, Caleb Williams. And he played pretty damn good. And he did what he has been known to do at USC. And watching Chicago and the highlights from yesterday is that when things break down, when he has to improvise, he is going to be very, very good. What the Bears, I think, can do for him to benefit what he does best, and when he's trying to make plays outside of the pocket and running around, and again, when things kind of break down is when he seems to be at his best, is get that dude on the run. Play action, boot out passes where he is leaving the pocket and looking for something downfield. I mean, the highlight from yesterday was the completion he had to Cole Kmet, where Caleb Williams was booting out to the right. Things were kind of breaking down, and then he just loaded up and fired an absolute bullet to Cole Kmet, like 25 yards downfield, right along the sideline, and completed the pass. And it was like, okay, that's that's pretty damn good. He also had a play against where the pocket was breaking down around him, and he just kind of tossed the ball to DeAndre Swift like a sidearm, like just here, just take it, getting rid of it at the last moment. And DeAndre Swift was able to get a bunch of yards after catch and take it like 40-something yards. But again, where he's going to excel is when things are falling apart around him and he's able to use his athleticism. He had a nice run as well for about 15 yards. But if Chicago can create an offense to get him out of the pocket, kind of like what the Texans were doing a little bit with Stroud last year, especially in that playoff game against the Browns, I think that will be extremely beneficial for Caleb Williams as far as he's going to have to develop in the pocket, obviously. I mean, that goes without saying, but I think you play to his strengths, and that is when he is on the run outside of the pocket, having to play somewhat unconventional quarterback. And that's what he, yesterday at least, exceeded at, was on those types of plays.
No, I love seeing him on the run. You're so right. It's very reminiscent of what we saw in college, that when a play's breaking down, he's got the skill to do anything. And with all those weapons in Chicago, yeah, he looked good yesterday. I do wonder, I didn't catch who he was playing against, if it was like the first or second team defense on the other side, and if this is happening like against, like college kids that are just being drafted, or if this was against a bunch of NFL vets. I'm more interested to see who he was doing this against. I'm not trying to knock the kid. I'm excited to see it, but he does still need to learn a couple of things. Namely, you talked about his pocket presence. He does still need to gain more confidence to be able to stand there for 3 to 5 seconds.
He's got a little happy feet in there.
And then that big, I remember the big thing at USC was when he couldn't stand in the pocket, when it wasn't really this kind of chaos and the play's breaking down and he's already kind of on the outside on the run making something happen. If the play broke down while he was in the pocket, he would just run straight back. And so there are things that he needs to fix. We didn't see those yesterday because, I don't know, they probably planned those plays out to almost to a T for what the first two series that he was in. So I think Caleb knew what he was running beforehand, and they practiced those plays. And that's obviously how you start each week in the NFL, but we did not see, later on, the second, the third quarter, when he's got to improvise from those calls from new sexy head coach Matt Eberflus. So I'm excited to see what he does going forward. It was nice yesterday, but not totally convinced, but damn, it was good.
Jaden Daniels, I believe he played just one series against the New York Jets, but it was a good series. I mean, 2 of 3, 45 yards, including a pretty long completion down the right sideline where he had to drop it in a bucket, and he completed it and for about, 30-something yards. And then he capped off his one drive with a touchdown on a little zone read fake that was able to score from about 5 yards out. So he looked good, though. 44-yard play is what it was on that pass. So Jaden Daniels, small sample size there, but in that small sample size, it looked really good in that in his play there. The one guy that played the most out of the rookie quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy. So the Vikings, they had Sam Darnold out there for the first series, so kind of looking like he will be their week 1 starter. But, man, they threw J.J. McCarthy to the Wolves yesterday. 17 passes yesterday. 11 of 17, 188 yards, including a pair of touchdowns and an interception. But I was pleasantly surprised at how well McCarthy played yesterday. He moved around in the pocket. He had a big touchdown completion down the left side of the field, I believe 45 yards. He had another one for 33 yards. I mean, he was able to make plays for them. There was a couple, again, his interception was not good. The Raiders did a good job of putting pressure on him, and he limited his mistakes. He did have one play that could have been another interception, but he looked pretty decent out there. And again, I know, like you said, Jordan, preseason, who is he playing up against? But in preseason for these guys, throw him to the Wolves.
Yeah.
Having him pass 17 times in NFL action, that's what you need to do for a player like J.J. McCarthy that needs to get ready before the season, especially if he's not going to be the starter and not going to get that playing time the first few weeks. Have him throw the ball as much as possible. Have him make mistakes in an actual game setting.
Exactly.
And seeing the amount of work that he got in that Vikings game. And again, looking decent. 11-17 for 108 yards. That's a pretty solid preseason debut for the kid out of Michigan.
I mean, that surpasses his total passes per game at Michigan by a lot, right?
For the entire season.
It seemed like he never threw the ball at Michigan. So, yeah, Kevin O'Connell, and maybe this is the Kevin O'Connell effect on J.J. McCarthy, because having that coach as your leader coming up, I mean, it's not like Sean Payton played quarterback and he's able to tell Bo Nix exactly what to do because of the experience of being in that position. That is what Kevin O'Connell offered to Kirk Cousins, what he's offering to J.J. McCarthy. We literally have not seen him throw enough to know what he is. And yeah, it was good yesterday. I saw a couple of those passes, but once again, I'm trying not to get too into any of these guys too early. But
no, I mean,
he looked good.
And, and of course, like the one play from Caleb Williams where he fired it to Cole Kmet, people are on Twitter like, God, he's going to be so good.
Oh, fire. Every play. Like, well, he's going to get picked off in the regular season. This is preseason right now, y'all.
And the last rookie quarterback, Drake May, it was underwhelming to say the least, but so was the drive. He played in 7 snaps, which 3 of them were runs. 3 of them were passes, and I went back and watched the highlights. 2 of them were like screen plays, dump offs to the running backs. Like, it was nothing to be really impressed with as far as what he can do at the quarterback position. And then he had another pass downfield that went incomplete. So still a lot left to be desired as far as watching what Drake May does. But in 12 minutes, we got Bo Nix against the Indianapolis Colts. Denver Broncos, Indianapolis Colts on the NFL Network. If you want to catch the last of the first-round pick quarterbacks in action on some preseason football Sundays. So what I want to do, though, I want to look at some college football games. We are oh so close. Do you realize the first college football games of the year are less than 2 weeks away, Jordan?
That's just nuts.
I just went from 6 to noon immediately after saying
go.
that out loud. Let's get to some college football schedule. Week 0, Week 1 matchups coming up here in less than 2 weeks. Dear God. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Portland Perks.
Head to Portland Perks for an amazing deal at Wildlife Safari.
Less than 2 weeks away from college football. That's right, less than 2 weeks. The first games are on August 24th. That means we literally have one Saturday left, and then we have college football.
Starting a little earlier this year because of the new playoff format or anything. I feel like this is slightly earlier, but maybe it's just because it's a leap year. I don't know.
Well, and so the first weekend, August 24th, there's 4 total games in the FBS.
Okay. Not a big week 0 schedule.
No. The biggest of those games, though, Florida State I was about to say at Georgia Tech, but actually it's at Dublin. Aer Lingus College Football Classic.
What's the
Seminoles versus the Yellow Jackets.
What's the draw there? Like, why isn't Notre
Beer.
Dame always playing in Dublin?
Booze.
Well, no. I get that, but why aren't they connecting it to the Fighting Irish every single year? That makes no sense.
Yeah, and I want to say like 2 years ago it was like Nebraska versus Illinois.
Yeah, that makes no sense. So
Maybe there's a big,
matchup.
big Irish contingency in Georgia and Florida that we just don't know about.
Oh yeah, Lassie, I just gotta go see the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the Irish immigrated their way over to Nebraska over the years. They found their way. I mean, what goes hand in hand more than the Seminoles and the Irish, right?
There you go.
So that's the biggest game of that week 0. Montana State versus New Mexico. Can I intrigue you in some of that? That is technically an FBS matchup because of New Mexico.
Wow.
Then you also got SMU versus Nevada. SMU, an intriguing team to watch this year. I heard Durton Sprague talking to the guy, I don't know if it was a beat writer or the play-by-play for SMU the other day, but they're supposed to have a good season this year, so that's an intriguing matchup to look up.
Yeah, Dirt thinks they're going to be in the top 25.
Yeah, and his dirty poll, what he said was what he's trying to do is make it a poll to what he believes is how the year is going to finish up, essentially.
That makes sense.
Like, he believes that SMU at the end of the year will be one
24,
of the
23,
one of the better teams, and so they'll go up against Nevada, and then the mighty Delaware State Hornets.
That's a easy Hornets. I feel like there's like 10 Hornet schools in the.
We literally have
NCAA.
Yellow Jackets and Hornets playing on the same weekend. Delaware State versus Hawaii on August 24th as well. So those are the 4 games that make up the week 0, if you will.
Is that the insertion game for Oregon leaving the Hawaii schedule?
It's quite possible.
Yeah. I'm like, Delaware State, huh? Like, that's a rando for Hawaii. Wow.
Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware. Let's look at the following week, though. Week 1 matchups. And we got games on Thursday. I mean, that Thursday, August 29th, we have like 15 games, 15 to 20, it looks like.
Yeah, the NFL doing
now, the
Thursday night-
matchups aren't great, but.
No, but the NFL doing Thursday night football. I know college is traditionally, since I was a kid and before, have been playing Thursday night games, but I do feel like the number of Thursday night games is increasing like 5-fold. And we're seeing 15, crappy ones, but Thursday night football games for NCAA. That's cool.
As far as Thursday, August 29th goes, there's probably 2 games that would be the most intriguing to watch as far as matchups go. I mean, there are teams that we quote unquote care about in this area. Utah will be playing against Southern Utah, division or conference opponent Illinois going up against Eastern Illinois. If you want to see what the Fighting Illini are like to start the season, which is just, again, as we get close to the season, these games play out. The fact that we have to look at these teams like Maryland and Rutgers and what they're doing. But the 2 matchups on that Thursday, North Carolina at Minnesota, a solid little Power 5 matchup there, ACC versus Big Ten. But Thursday, 5 o'clock, August 29th, North Dakota State at Colorado. Colorado's an 8.5-point favorite. Dear God, please let the Bison win that game. I would love to see Colorado start their season off with a loss against North Dakota State. That would already be one of the highlights of the college football season before it really even begins. If on a Thursday night game, when all eyes are going to be on them, it's on ESPN, North Dakota State, one of the most storied schools in FCS, comes into Colorado and beats them.
Yeah.
Please. Like, I would love to see that post-game press conference by Dion and the team, and I would love to see what Colorado Twitter, who has quickly become the most insufferable fan base in all of college football.
He'll be making sure to tell us that his son is still better than everybody else, though. Even if they lose, Shador will still be an NFL quarterback. And that doesn't matter, for one, because if he's leading your team to losses like that, really? Is he going to succeed in the NFL? And then two, get your roster together, bro. You got your kid Shiloh. Did you see that clip on Twitter where he's getting him off the field, and then Shiloh's running back on because he made a mistake, and he's calling other players out I'm not the only one, and it's just your practices are chaos. This is not a fun environment for anyone to be in.
Week 1, the first official real Saturday of college football where we get a full slate of games. 9 a.m. Clemson, Georgia.
Oh, let's go. I like that.
Yeah, I want to say that, Georgia probably ranked number 1 in the coaches poll to start the season, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they're number 1. Clemson at number 14 in the first coaches poll of the college football season. So right away, 9 a.m. on August 31st, we're getting a top 15 matchup to start the day between Georgia and Clemson. Sign me up, baby.
Give me that right into my veins.
Oh, and then Penn State, West Virginia at 9 a.m. as well.
Yeah,
That'll be an interesting game. West Virginia is supposed to be a little bit better this year. Penn State always trying to be one of the best teams in the Big Ten, but falling short, seemingly losing to Ohio State and Michigan every year. So that'll be a fun game to watch at 9 a.m. as well, but I'm sure most eyeballs will be on Georgia and Clemson. Looking at the rest of the slate, someone on the YouTube chat saying 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away rather, from seeing the Vikes take down Washington State. Oh boy. We've seen that happen before. Portland State taking care of Washington State. That one's on the C-Dub. You can watch that at noon on the CW.
Wonderful. Thom Brenneman's going to be calling that one.
Oh, really?
Well, I wonder because the CW has hired Thom Brenneman.
I saw that, yeah, but dear God, don't give him a college football assignment already.
No, that's literally what he was hired to do.
I know, but
he will. No, he's going to be on their coverage at some point this season. I don't know.
Put him on a crappy game like Bucknell versus Navy or something like that. Actually, don't even do that. Navy doesn't deserve him. All right, put him against what are some other CW games? I'm sure that's probably one of 2 CW games all day for the college football slate. But some other games that are happening that day, classic matchup that would have been cool in the 90s, Miami versus Florida. Mario Cristobal with a top 25 team again. But as long as he figures out how to, coach in-game situations, then we'll see what happens in that one. But man,
can Cam Ward succeed under Mario Cristobal? We don't know.
Dude, yeah, and then Cam Ward and Damian Martinez out there in Miami.
Oh, yeah, Damian Martinez as well. Gosh, that's going to be quite the tandem. Mario is lucky that they fell into his lap, man.
Yeah, for real.
It's not, he didn't recruit them. The Miami U, that was what really got them there. I'm sorry. I know that school prestige apparently isn't a big thing anymore because it's not. But the names like Ohio State, Oregon, all right, people will laugh at me when I say Oregon, but like Alabama, Florida State, Miami, they still carry weight. They do.
Dear God, you know what the other CW game is on August 31st?
The one that Thom's calling? No, tell me.
He very well could be calling the Idaho State Bengals traveling to Corvallis to take on the Oregon State Beavers.
There you go. See, that's it. Yeah, Oregon State playing a nothing school. That's a perfect game for Thom Brenneman to sneak his way back into, as a man of faith, trying to just make it in this world as a humble person that screwed up, looking for a second chance. Okay.
You also got Notre Dame, Texas A&M that weekend. Texas A&M getting a top 25 vote from, a top 25, I think, what was it, number 20. They're number 20 in the first poll. Notre Dame, number 7, so that's a top 25 matchup. I like how the coaches decided to give Texas A&M a top 25 appearance, so that way they could make that game a top 25 matchup in the first week of the season. So that'll be 4:30 on ABC. Texas A&M, a 1-point favorite to start already over Notre Dame.
Ooh,
number 7 Notre Dame.
Tasty betting lick there.
And then who else we got here? Mighty Lamar versus Texas State. Southeast Missouri State against New Mexico State. Washington. They kick off at 8 o'clock on August 31st against Weber State.
Wow.
I mean, dear God, playing that game already is annoying if you're Washington because you have to play Weber State, but then you have to play it at 8 o'clock at night.
Welcome to the wonderful world of the Big Ten.
And that's on the Big Ten Network.
That's what I'm saying. You are now a West Coast school in a Midwest-based conference, so good luck.
And then that Sunday, September 1st, all eyes will be on USC versus LSU. That game being played in Las Vegas, the Modelo Vegas Kickoff Classic at
Love it.
Allegiant Stadium. LSU, a 6.5-point favorite so far there. So
I love that LSU has to travel west, by the way, for one of these openers because, Oregon.
yeah, God forbid. God forbid
I
you
know.
get an SEC team to go that far.
Yeah, Oregon going to Texas to basically play a faux away game at LSU. Like, it's not easy. It's not a neutral site game at all. This is more of a neutral site game. I like it.
Yeah, that game to just be standing by itself on September 1st before the NFL season kicks off, that will be a fun game to watch as well to see what USC does against a team like LSU. All right, hour number 2 coming up. We got a divisional preview to get to. The AFC South, Texans, Jags, Colts, and Titans. We look at over-under win totals. We look at the odds. I think we all might have a favorite for this division. But there could be 2 other teams that want to throw their hats into the ring. AFC South review coming up next. Hour number 2, Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan.
Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop is the spot for a great night out. Always
Hour number 2, Sports Sunday, right here on 1080 The Fan, the Odyssey app, 99.5 HD2, YouTube, and Twitch for the kids. I'm Joe Fisher III, Jordan Schultz.
Hi there.
We're chilling here this morning. I got 30 kilometers on the TV for the Olympic coverage right now.
Chilling indeed. Chilly morning, actually. Thank God.
From what I understand, yeah, right. The last couple of days have been gross.
That sucked.
I mean, the smoke, it's not been like a scorcher heat-wise, but it's just been sticky.
Yep.
Just
Humid.
muggy, humid. We went out Friday night to a couple spots, and the second bar we went to, we were outside for, and we sat on one of the bench patios or the patio benches and just started sweating immediately.
Yeah.
Just disgusting.
I tried to live it up like I was young again and went to another dance party. It was called like a candy pop dance on Friday night.
Excuse me?
Yes. No, it's a themed
Candy pop?
candy pop. We're talking like Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, like, you know, that kind of thing.
Gaga.
Gaga, In Sync, which they didn't play any of. It's funny when they advertise songs they're going to play on the banner and then
Was
they
this
don't.
at the Holocene in Portland?
This was at the Holocene. That
How
is
about that?
correct. And they did not turn their air conditioning on at all, to the point where by 1 a.m. it was raining inside of the club.
Because of just all the humidity and
Oh,
sweat.
yeah.
That was it was like that scene from Along Came Polly of the dudes playing basketball.
Yeah, but no one was making out, though. Like, it's a club and it's sweaty, but no one was, like...
Getting after it.
No, they were just out there dancing like idiots. I'm like, come on, this is a sweaty, like, movie scene that we've all seen. Come on. And then I walk into the bathroom for some relief. No, the mirror is all fogged up, and it's just like, okay, I got to go outside.
If there's one kind of dance experience that I want to experience myself, is I want to go to a dance club that is just playing nothing but like 90s techno the entire time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And just people raving, this is the rhythm of the night. I want to
Yep.
hear some of that.
That song.
There's it's a very distinct sound, 90s techno. That
Yeah, that pretty much. We just nailed it.
yeah, I want 2-3 hours in one of those things. Just people just gnawing on their binkies, just
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, there's a lot of ecstasy.
just
being
eat
dropped.
out of their minds.
God,
That's something I'm trying to experience.
yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that.
Well, maybe
Don't do
not
drugs,
that.
kids.
Yeah,
Stop.
I mean,
Don't
you
do
know,
it.
high school and my early days of college are well beyond me. But yeah, just experiencing that music and make it so people are dressed up as if it is the 90s too. Like, again, I want the full garb. I want the full setup. I want people drinking Zimas out there. I don't even know what other drinks of the 90s were popular around then.
I mean, wine coolers. Henry Weinhard's was a big deal in the 90s. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Private Reserve from Henry's.
Yeah, we need to make that happen. I'll call up the Holocene and tell them we need a 90s dance party to happen. I'm trying to think of some other those 90s techno songs. But again, they all sound the same.
No, it's true. I mean, it's not a techno thing, but Lola's inside of Crystal Ballroom, they do, at least during the summer.
They do like a 90s dance party, a 2000s dance party. Yeah.
Been to several of those. Those are fun. I think the 90s is actually this weekend.
Yeah, I went to one of those one time and had a grand old time. Do you think you're better off alone?
Yes. Yeah, they just need to hire you to sing it.
Man, maybe not, but just get me on there. Imagine singing that at karaoke.
Somebody did go with the I will remember you
Oh, there you go.
at a bar at 11 o'clock at night for karaoke. It's like, why are we doing the Sarah McLachlan song? What the hell are you doing?
I know, super depressing. Jeez. All right, we're already up against it. Let's get back on the clock. How about
Okay.
that? What a concept. Being on the clock on 1080 The Fan.
Wasted a segment.
Hey, I'll waste a segment on 90s techno. In fact, I want you to see for bumper music coming back if we somehow do have Better Off Alone or Rhythm of the Night somewhere in the
Like
library.
Sandstorm by Darude or something. That's technically 90s, isn't it?
I think so, if not early 2000s. But I want 90s specifically.
You want
Again,
90s.
That sound is a very distinct techno sound. All right. But let's get to the AFC South next here on Sports Sunday on 1080 The Fan.
There's nothing more
Some Zombie Nation.
Yeah, 1999.
Ah,
Kerncraft 400 on their 1999 album, Zombie Nation.
Kerncraft 400.
That's the name of the song. Yeah, Zombie Nation's the band. This
Oh,
song
I thought
is called-
Zombie Nation was the name of the song.
No. This-
Kerncraft 400 was the band.
No, strike that, reverse it. Kerncraft 400 is the song performed by German techno musician Zombie Nation on their 1999 debut album.
Kerncraft 400.
I just
Yeah.
remember they started playing this at stadiums, I think, around this time, right after it came out, because it's perfect for it. And I always wanted to be at T-Mobile Park when they were playing this, like to get everybody riled up. And there is no better feeling when you hear this over the stadium speakers, brah.
Oh, yeah. I remember my days at Sherwood Bowman basketball games getting the crowd amped.
You use
Zombie.
this?
Zombie.
Yeah, this is awesome.
You know what this gets me excited for, pumped up, like you said, as far as being in the crowd? Portland Pickles baseball.
Ooh.
Just real quickly, because I want to show them some love, is they won their game against the Bend Elks last night in Bend.
The Bend Elks is one of the better team names around, by the way.
Go Elks. I wish I could make an elk sound, but I can't get that high pitched on when the elks do their squealing when they're looking for a mate. You
Yeah,
know
their
that
little
sound
mating
I'm talking
call.
about? Yeah. But they'll be back at Walker Stadium tonight for Game 2 of their playoff series rather, and possibly if they lose tonight, which I hope is not the case, they'll be there tomorrow also. But if you want to go catch some Pickles playoff baseball, if you want to rock out with your playoff pickle out, go to Walker Stadium tonight.
Rocking out with your pickle out is a fun time, bro.
There you go. It's great. Get yourself a pickle teeny if you want. Get yourself a baseball bat full of beer.
Do they sell giant pickles at Portland Pickles games?
Oh, they should. Maybe like deep fried pickles. I have not had a pickle or a pickle product other than the pickle teeny at a Portland Pickles game, but I'm sure that they got to have fried pickles or something around.
I mean,
there.
a shot of whiskey with a pickleback is pretty tasty.
It is. It is. You know what's tasty? The AFC South.
Ooh.
The favorite division of football fans across the country. The vaunted AFC South.
You know it's my fave.
I would say that it's probably dead last as far as like divisions that people care about.
Really? I know so many Tennessee Titans fans. I mean, they've only existed since like 1997, 6. It's like meeting a Marlins fan, essentially.
Go Oilers, baby.
Yeah!
Yeah, I would say, I mean, like, look, AFC East, people care about the Patriots, Bills, Jets, Dolphins, I guess, other than my dad. I don't know who else likes the Dolphins. AFC North, AFC West, NFC East. I mean, all these, I mean, the NFC South maybe, but I would say that the NFC South is more intriguing than the AFC South.
I mean, I do find some intrigue with a couple of these teams and their quarterback situations.
As
Very
far,
highly paid QBs out of this division here.
Well, now, especially. I mean,
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence raising the annual salary for that division immensely. But this is the division for the Texans to lose. They are the returning division champion. They will bring back their stellar quarterback, C.J. Stroud, for a second year, along with some extra pieces on the offensive side. The big move in the offseason was them trading for Stephon Diggs, adding him to the receiving core of Nico Collins and Tank Dell. But they also add some help in the backfield as well. I know that was one of the positions on offense that they needed the most help at, and they trade for Joe Mixon. Now, you might have to correct me if that was a trade or just a signing overall. But Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs being added to this offense is huge. Now, what we will see from Stephon Diggs, what he has left in the tank, yet to be decided. Joe Mixon, one of the better running backs in the league, better dual threat running backs. But they need all the help they can get, and they need to stay healthy this year. They were one of the more injured teams last season, and being the number one the winner in their division, they now have the number 1 seed schedule, right? They're going to be playing the division winners in the AFC. And the list of the teams that they have to play as far as quarterbacks go, it's going to be tough. One, they'll play 5 division winners this year. They'll play 7 playoff teams, and 11 of their 17 games are going to be against teams with winning records in 2023. But this is the list of quarterbacks that they have to play this year, Jordan. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Tua Tagovailoa, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and Trevor Lawrence twice. So as far as just quarterbacks that C.J. Stroud is going to be going up against one-on-one and having to outplay and outduel, the Texans, it's going to be a very challenging season for them to repeat what they did last year. As far as offensive pieces, though, they do have one of the better teams when it comes to quarterback and skills position players, but it's a matter of staying healthy. It's a matter of reproducing. I mean, now that everybody's got a year of tape on you and you are bringing these pieces back, I mean, you have that, proverbial target on your chest of teams wanting to take you out, especially in your division. So the Texans, their over-under win total is set to 9.5 for this season. But they are the favorites to win the AFC South.
Yeah, all the talent that they added on the offensive side of the ball to go along with Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. I think I got to go get me a Schultz Texans jersey. I think I got to do it. No relation to Dalton Schultz, but he does spell his name exactly like mine. And I kind of want a Texans Schultz jersey. Let's go. He was a stud at tight end for them last year, really helped C.J. Stroud open up the offense. And I do think that in that division, while weak maybe with teams overall, you mentioned the quarterbacks. It's not just the quarterbacks outside of the division, Trevor Lawrence, of course, but then Anthony Richardson with the Colts coming back. I do think Shane Steichen and the Colts, as we're going to get to, have something going. They're kind of maybe a sleeper team in my mind with him coming back from injury. Well, Richardson has a lot to prove this year.
Well, to consider how well they did without Anthony Richardson going down, I believe is after like week 6 or 7 last year, and them having to roll with Minshew Mania.
Exactly.
I mean, for a time, I was saying Shane Steichen was coach of the year last year for what he was able to do with that offense and that team, considering that they're running out Gardner Minshew as their quarterback, who Minshew's a fine quarterback, but he's not like the Raiders are going to have to start him this year because they have no one else. What are they going to do? Run out Aiden O'Connell? So, I mean,
so sad.
The Colts, the one thing that is a real kick in the giblets for them is that they just lost Josh Downs, one of their receivers, recently, for the stupidest reason too. One of their teammates, a safety, they were running some 7-on-7 drills, and a player on the Colts tackled, brought him to the ground, and he now has a high ankle sprain and is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. And apparently Josh Downs and Richardson have been clicking in off-season, in training camp. That has been looked like a duo that has been ready to take a huge step for this team this year, but a blow for them nonetheless. But the Colts, I mean, the interesting part about this division as far as projected win total goes, you got Texans 9.5, Colts projected to win 8.5, Jacksonville projected to win 8.5. Those three teams are going to be beating up on each other all year long. So I am intrigued to see how this division plays out because, again, what we saw from the Colts last year, just being better than they should have been despite not having Anthony Richardson, and Richardson having a great year before he got injured. And then Jacksonville just blowing the division last year. What were they, 8-3, I believe, at one point last season?
So. Yeah, it was just a massive falling off.
So they have a lot to prove themselves. Just very intriguing. But the Texans, they are the favorites to win the AFC South. They have a plus 105 odds to win that division. But again, the schedule for them, and I understand it's all based off of last year's win totals and playoff teams. You know, some of these teams are going to take a dip. But when you have to go up against those quarterbacks, your defense especially has got to be on its game next year or this upcoming season. Again, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, Love, Goff, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that is going to be – it's going to be a tough year for the Texans. As long as they stay healthy, though, and C.J. Stroud is able to not have that sophomore slump, and we should see them winning the division again, or at the very least making the playoffs as a wild card team.
They did get Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. I think he was their top draft pick in Houston, so they did add to the defensive side of the ball as well with some talent. So interesting to see if that can improve their profile in this division or not, because, yeah, I think this is, as you say, a boring division, but I think it's going to be a sneaky competitive division for sure.
Yeah, competitive nonetheless. I just think, as history goes, I think this team has been very much, or this division is very much like an afterthought for a lot of people. I mean, like you said, like Titans fans, there were none until, at least in this area, until Marcus Mariota got drafted. Name me one Jacksonville Jaguar fan that you know in your life. Thank you.
Marcus Mariota's dad.
No, Jaguars fans.
My mom or my stepmom.
Mac Jones's parents, McCorkle Jones's
My
parents.
stepmom really is a Jaguars fan. She's been that since like what, 97 when they entered the league? Yeah.
Hey, just wanted to push you to the limit.
It's a cool logo, baby.
And then
And
also,
Mac Jones getting sacked after that picture that he posted on Twitter to open his preseason. What an idiot.
and then name me a Texans fan in your life as well.
Myself for Dalton Schultz. There
Yeah,
you go.
There you go. Also, as far as an addition for the Texans go on the defensive side of the ball, Daniel Hunter from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yes.
That is a huge addition for them. They also have Will Anderson, their stud defensive end, who will be going into year 3, I believe, with the Houston Texans.
Gosh, could you imagine if J.J. Watt still had like a year or two left in the tank, man? What they could be with C.J. Stroud.
This defense, though, Derek Stingley Jr. at corner, Jimmy Ward, the former San Francisco safety, is on the team as well. This defense should be much improved as well, and they have got to hold up this year as far as health and against that litany of quarterbacks that they'll be playing. So Texans, your favorite to win the division, over under 9.5. My instincts want to take the over. I see them being at least a 10-7 team. And then that 9-8 though, that is a again, as far as wild card teams go, that is intriguing as well. But I'll go with the Texans to go at least 10-7 with that record there, which it will definitely, hopefully for them, be good enough to be a playoff spot. Let's take a break. We'll catch up with the other teams in this division: Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and I guess we got to spend some time on the Tennessee Titans.
Hey, Will Levis, baby, eating that mayo.
Yeah. Dear God. Yeah, he deserves everything that he gets because of that incident. We get to the rest of the AFC South here. Sports Sunday on 1080 The Fan, but first, Schulte with the Sports Center update.
Now, from the Fan Sports Desk, the Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, the United States men and women, both Olympic champions on their hardwood after beating France. Actually, both the men and women did play France in their gold medal matches. First, the men beat them last night, 98-87. LeBron scoring 14, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker adding 15. Steph Curry, though, led the way with 24 points, including the final 4 3-pointers to seal the win for the Americans. Wemby going off for 26 in the losing effort. And the ladies earlier this morning slipping by the French 67-66, 21 points from Asia Wilson leading the way. Kelsey Plum adding 12 off the bench. Their international winning streak now standing at 56 games. In the NFL, the Seahawks beating Jim Harbaugh and the LA Chargers 16-3 in their opening preseason matchup. And on the diamond, the Mariners handling the Mets yesterday 4-0. The final, an RBI from Randy Arozarena as well as 2 from Justin Turner. New guys really getting it done up in Seattle. They go for the series sweep later tonight on Sunday Night Baseball. The first appearance for the Mariners on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN in 20 years. Luis Castillo and Luis Severino on the bump. First pitch at 4 p.m. on ESPN. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte at the 1080 The Fan Sports Desk. Listen live or on demand on the Odyssey app, the Fan's desktop player, or tell your smart speaker to play 1080 The Fan.
Tired of getting dinged by subscriptions? We won't send you a bill. Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
Portland
Your AFC South preview here on Sports Sunday. Joe Fisher, Jordan Schultz. And well, I want to divert our attention to the highest paid quarterback and his team in the division, the Jacksonville Jaguars, or what are said in the southern part of the world, Jacksonville Jaguars. London's own, the Jaguars.
Yeah, the London Jaguars, really.
Boy, they need to bounce back here. That's for damn sure. Especially after what happened last season and the way that it just crumbled around them. They need to exercise some demons after a great start to the season and then it just falling apart and then missing out on the playoffs on last year. But it comes down to Trevor Lawrence. He has yet to throw for 30 touchdowns in a season. Last year, throwing only 21 touchdowns to 14 interceptions as the number one overall pick back in 2021 and the supposed savior of this franchise and supposed to be one of the most surefire quarterback prospects since Andrew Luck. We have yet to see him really take that step. Yes, he improved from his rookie season to the second year when they made the playoffs, but I think as far as what people are expecting out of him, as far as performance goes and output at the quarterback position, they need to see a bigger step, especially if you're getting paid as much money as you are now. Him being one of the three quarterbacks to get an absolute huge paycheck this year, you cannot have another season of 4,000 yards with 21 touchdowns and 14 picks. If that's what you're putting up for this year for the Jaguars, there's going to be a lot of question marks. They got some, they added some pieces on the offensive end, getting Gabe Davis from Buffalo, drafting Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, who led FBS in touchdown receptions last year. We've seen how good LSU wide receivers have been that go to the NFL. Speaking of LSU wide receivers, this came across a little bit ago, is Malik Neighbors. Minor ankle sprain after limping off field during practice for the New York Giants, who's been having a great mini camp, off-season, training camp, everything. So Malik Neighbors right now dealing with an ankle injury himself. But Trevor Lawrence, it's time to take that step and show that you are a top 10 quarterback in the league because you're going into year 4. You're getting paid. You need to make that increase in progression, that step, kind of like what we saw Josh Allen do a few years ago. I think it was after his third season, Josh Allen, where he really started to flourish as a passer, as a quarterback. And Trevor Lawrence has an absolute cannon. That dude can fire the ball in there, but it is time for him to make that next step as far as being one of the premier, most intimidating, vaunted quarterbacks in the league. And again, with that paycheck, you got to show it this year.
You've got to, get weapons for him, and hopefully in drafting Thomas Jr., they actually did, because I'm sorry, Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis ain't going to get it done for you in the NFL as wide receivers. So love Etienne. He's always one of my top fantasy picks. Like, that dude just runs, and he's a multi-talented back as well. You have to be that to succeed at this point in the league. I just don't know if Trevor Lawrence has enough horses in the stable around him to get it done. And it's kind of like a Justin Herbert situation in Los Angeles. Like, he really, really took over. Like, his first year, once, Tyrod Taylor got the injection into his...
literally week 1?
Yeah, week 1 into his shoulder and hit his lung and punctured it and gave Justin Herbert the opportunity. He had weapons around him. And when Trevor came out, seemed like he had more weapons around him. DJ Chark was on the roster still at the time. Well, and they downgraded since then.
Well, even last year when they picked up Calvin Ridley, I thought it was going to be a great connection between those two, and it never really clicked. And now, coincidentally, Calvin Ridley is still in division. He's over at Tennessee. But again, they did upgrade their offense in a sense. Like, did they upgrade it like the Texans did? No. But getting Gabe Davis, who has been a great player for Buffalo when it comes to playoff time. Brian Thomas Jr., a stud at LSU, along to go with Kirk, Etienne, and then Evan Ingram at tight end, who had some good years for the New York Giants as well. The defensive side will be interesting. They are bringing over defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen from the Atlanta Falcons, who the Atlanta Falcons were a putrid team offensively last year, but they still went 7-10. That was because of their defense. So having a good defensive coordinator and hopefully a better defensive this year Trayvon Walker, you're hoping that he takes the next step in his progression as a number 1 overall pick. And forgive me if that was wrong as far as number 1 overall. I just know that he was very highly drafted. Number 1 overall pick for the Jaguars a few years ago. So him to take the next step. Josh Allen, who is now going by Josh Hines Allen, which is probably beneficial for him.
Thank you. Yeah, no, better branding. I hate that. Right. Josh Allen. Hey. There's 2 Bojan Bogdanoviches in the NBA. One needs to pick his middle name.
And then they did sign Eric Armstead in the offseason. The dude is already on the PUP list, though, and looks like he might be missing the first 4 games of the season.
First 4 seasons, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, sign him to a 4-year deal. He will not play at all during that time with the Jaguars.
Yeah, as of like a week ago, I think Doug Peterson said that they were expecting to get him back on the field, but that's the last that they heard. It was like, hey, it's coming soon, and yeah. I haven't heard since.
Well, and he also had a quote that was kind of like, we're just basically banking on him being here at the end of the year when the games are like more important. Like he's like, training camp, it's almost like he is reserved to the fact that they know, because Armstead had knee surgery in the offseason, and he's still working his way back from that. But we saw Armstead show up at the end of the year and make an impact in the Super Bowl and some of the playoff games. But it's just a matter of if he's even going to be fully healthy for them during those 4 years that he signed his contract for with Jacksonville. But again, they do have some good pieces on that defensive side. Darnell Savage, Tyson Campbell. They also have, again, like I mentioned, Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, Ronald Darby at cornerback. So this team, they have pieces all around, but they got to put it together this year. It's absolutely imperative that they get back to the playoffs and they show some competency, and Doug Peterson is able to, again, exercise some of the demons that we saw last year and then absolutely falling outside. I mean, the Eagles took away some attention away from the Jaguars, completely collapsing last year, because the Eagles are one of the worst teams to end the year. Jacksonville was just as atrocious ending the season and missing the playoffs on the last week of the season. The other team of this division that we talked a little bit about in the last one, by the way, Jacksonville, 8.5 over/under win total.
Yeah.
God, that is tough.
I mean, I'm still mad at them. I picked them to win the division last year. I think a lot of people going into last season thought with Doug Peterson that they were going to be something that they did not end up showing up as. So,
I mean, depending on where you look, they have the second best odds to win the division, plus 275. They can definitely be a 9-win team, but I don't know if you're satisfied if you are a Jacksonville fan. I think you want to get back to winning the division and being the team in this division. It was right there for the taking last year, and you blew it. And again, with Houston being the number 1 team, having that schedule that they have, Jacksonville, they have a chance to win this division. The other team, though, the Colts, that will be the interesting team as well, just because if you get a full season out of Anthony Richardson, he looked great last year in the short time that he was there. Shane Steichen in that offense looked really good at points, even with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Them losing Josh Downs absolutely sucks. They will go into the season. As far as like offensive role players and pieces go, they are behind the other 2 teams in the Texans and the Jaguars. You're going in with Michael Pittman. You're going in with Alec Pierce, one of the best running backs you do have in Jonathan Taylor, and you will have Trey Sermon as a backup running back. But as far as like overall pieces go, tight end right now, Mo Alley Cox is who you're looking at as far as tight end. So overall skill players go, this is probably the 3rd best team on offense. And as far as what they're able to do on defense, we have no clue. They had a somewhat decent defense last year, but they're right now looking like the 3rd best team in the division. They have the 3rd best odds to win the division. It's just a matter of, can they get a full year out of Anthony Richardson? Is he able to build upon what we saw from that rookie season? And again, that's one team where it is very hard to grade at this point. They have the same over/under win total at 8.5 as the Jacksonville Jaguars. My natural instinct seeing that win total makes me want to take the under of them finishing like 8-9, kind of be middling, and 7-10, somewhere around there. It's just a matter of what those weapons what they're going to be able to do, because looking at him, it does not inspire a lot of confidence. And again, the Josh Downs injury just takes a lot of optimism out of the offense right away. Michael Pittman Jr., he's always going to be a great player for them. Adonai Mitchell, one of the rookies, I believe, out of Texas, is going to be playing for them as well this year. So maybe he can live up to his potential as far as being a second-round pick. Maybe he can be able to alleviate some of the woes of losing Josh Downs, because Adonai Mitchell was great at Texas. So the Colts, that is a tough team to predict what the hell is going to happen with them.
Yeah, kind of up and down. Also, I had heard that they were kind of counting on Jelani Woods to climb the tight end depth charts a little bit. I believe he was with Denver last season. So we're talking about like much needed weapons on the offensive side of the ball for the Colts. And it seemed like they were banking on him. Steichen was kind of banking on him to really make an impact. I don't know if they want to do like that 2 tight end offense that's succeeded in New England so well under Bill Belichick. I mean, not a bad idea. Those, if you had 2 better tight ends in the NFL with a Michael Pittman Jr. and Anthony Richardson, that's a good offense, right? But it doesn't sound like that's happening, at least as fast as they would like Woods to progress. So, yeah, you look at who do they have after that Downs injury? Not quite sure, because they I mean, they got to go like what on the used car market and grab like I'm trying to think of somebody that's just sitting around right now.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of who they're leaning on.
Yeah, Anthony Gould out of Oregon State as well on this team. So
Forgot about him. Okay, see, that's maybe I'm biased, but that's a nice young impact player.
But they're going to be having to look at the rookie receivers to help out with the Josh Downs injury, that's for sure. And then the last team of this division who is likely to finish last in the division, the Tennessee Titans. Boy, Will Levis, he was the quarterback that dropped in the 2023 draft. He had like a good game last year, had some big moments of some big downfield passes, but the dude just took sack after sack after sack. That was one of his problems in Memphis, is that he just would not get rid of the ball, and he just thinks that he can make things happen when, quite frankly, it's just like, dude, throw it out, get rid of it, like, don't take the sack, try not to be the hero. And he just hasn't learned that yet. Obviously, with it being his rookie year last year. But the big thing that they lose, I mean, losing Derrick Henry is just going from Derrick Henry to Tony Pollard. You want to talk about a guy who, going from a running back that will get you yards after first contact to a guy that literally falls down and does not get a single yard seemingly after first contact. Again, I watched my Cowboys. That was Tony Pollard a lot last year, is that the dude, as soon as he gets touched, he's going down. DeAndre Hopkins, he was pretty decent for him last year. You wonder how much he has left. Calvin Ridley going from the Jaguars to the Titans after a somewhat, I'm not going to say disappointing, but just not fulfilling his expectations after coming back from a full season off from the Falcons with the gambling issue that he had. The Titans, it's probably going to be a rough season. It's just a matter of looking at where can we see some positive signs, like T'Vondre Sweat, their rookie nose tackle that they got, I believe, out of Texas. It's just going to be one of those for the Tennessee Titans, is like, who do we see that we can build up for next year? Is Will Levis even an option going forward? He's going to have a much smaller leash than some other teams. With their rookie quarterbacks, their second-year quarterbacks. So the Titans, best of luck, guys. You have a over-under win total set at 6.5 for the Titans.
They got Mason Rudolph waiting in the wings, so, there you go.
Boy.
Give him another shot.
Yeah, that really instills some confidence.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Mason Rudolph.
I actually liked what I saw out of Will Levis last year, though. So I know you're poo-pooing on him a little bit.
Again, he had his moments, but he did definitely have moments, too, of just looking not ready at all.
No, and when you last season still had Derrick Henry on your team, it's a lot easier for any quarterback to succeed alongside him. So I hear you. Yeah, it's going to be a big loss, and I'm sure he will be exposed now as their true starting quarterback.
Yeah, and they're going to be again, without Derrick Henry, that is a good fail-safe to have. And now it's going to be very much like, all right, Will, let's see what you really have here now that you don't have him to fall back on. Having DeAndre Hopkins is nice, but the rest of the weapons on that team, it's much to be desired. So AFC South, going with the Texans. going with the Jaguars to finish second, Colts third, Titans fourth. That's how it's finishing out.
Yeah, I honestly, I think I might flip the 2 and 3 team, possibly. Like it's going to be a battle, but other than that, no, I think that's a pretty good order.
Yeah. All right, wrap things up on Sports Sunday next. 1080 The Fin.
Summer is never.
Bo Nix out on the field right now.
How's he doing? I haven't paid attention. I've been
He's got 2 completions. I was able to catch both of them.
So you have 2 catches.
Oh, I did not. That would have been cool. That'd be much cooler if I was out there actually catching passes.
Joe Fisher, preseason Broncos wide receiver.
Hey, I'm a 6-foot speedy little wide receiver. I can be the Lad McConkey for Bo Nix. I can, be the little Hunter Renfro, if you will. 2 passes that were completed. One of them being just a out route about 8-9 yards, put it on him. The other completion, though, much better. It was a 3rd and 10. He got rushed out of the pocket to the left side, had to throw the ball across his body and put it on the receiver right at the sideline, right as he was falling down, about a 17, 18-yard completion maybe, somewhere around there. Probably a little bit more, probably somewhere around like 20-something yards. But it was one of those where play was falling apart around him. He had to make something happen, scrambled to the left, crossbody throw, got it to the guy right before going out of bounds to get the first down on a 3rd and 10. The other play that I saw that he had just missed, it looked like it went through, I believe, Josh Reynolds on the Broncos, right through his hands. He threw it down the right sideline, probably about like a 40-something yard pass play in the back of the end zone, and it just went right by Josh Reynolds' hands at the very, very back end of it. Looked like he dropped it in the bucket. It was so close. It definitely would have been the highlight of his stint out there in this preseason game. My guess is he will still get some more snaps. Jarrett Stidham started the game through an interception. So Bo Nix, who is going up against Stidham, Zach Wilson for the starting job in Denver.
Looks awful.
Just start him. Just start Bo Nix, okay? Like, we've seen Zach Wilson and what he is. Whether the time in New York, especially at the end, whether it's fair to him or not. I mean, some of that, it seemed like some of the players were playing for him, some of them weren't. Whatever. You've seen enough of him at this point. Jarrett Stidham, definitely seen enough of him at this point. Start Bo Nix. What do you have to lose this year?
I honestly, I get that, it's the world of NFL quarterbacks, and, once you establish yourself as somebody that, can run an offense, you're going to make $5 million a year. But, the Jarrett Stidham over and over and over again, the fact that we don't have any better options for these coaches to work with is just astounding to me. Stop it. Let's go, stop. Give Kellen Mond a shot. Stop handing Jarrett Stidham $5 million for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, to me, the Broncos are projected to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, regardless of who you have at quarterback. And you will not know what you have in Bo Nix with him standing on the sideline. He is a great teammate, great guy overall. If you have him holding the clipboard, he's going to do it to his best ability, and he's going to crush it. But that's not what you have him there for. You need to find out what he is at quarterback. Have him be the week 1 starter. Just please. If for some reason they go through training camp and he just doesn't have grasp of the playbook yet, it's Sean Payton offense, so maybe that will be the case where it's just by week 1 he's just not ready in that sense. But again, throw him to the wolves. That's what you have to do as far as preseason, and then early in the NFL career, you got to figure out what you have with Bo Nix, and I hope that he is the day 1, week 1 starter for the Denver Broncos. Right now, second quarter, about 12 minutes left. Again, you're probably going to see a few more reps from him before the day is done. And the Denver Broncos week 1 matchup in Seattle against the Seahawks.
Ooh, huge.
On September 8th.
Could you imagine if Nix got injured?
Why do we got to do that?
No, it's because I want Sean Payton to treat him like the starting quarterback that you're saying he should be.
Yeah.
But yet we are still throwing a Jarrett Stidham out there. It is absurd. It is absurd. Appreciate you. Love you all.
We got 4 weeks until the season starts, but for the love of God, please let Bo Nix be the starter for the Denver Broncos. All right. I'm Joe Fisher. Jordan Schultz, thank you again, as always, sir.
Appreciate you, brother.
We will catch you all next week. We still have AFC East, NFC East to go over. I believe the AFC North as well, with the Steelers, Bengals, Ravens, and Browns. That should be a very interesting division as well. So we got a few more divisions to preview before NFL season starts up in less than a month. Hell yes, brother. College football is right there. NFL football, preseason at least, has started. And we are almost there to the regular season as well. Thank you all for listening out there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go get some drinks up in Vancouver at the Craft Beer and Wine Festival. You enjoy the cooler weather.
That sounds fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can you buy tickets to go to that? I might just copy you and go take my wife to do that.
Check your email. There might be some extras.
All right. Wait, I thought that was a Friday-only thing.
No,
Damn it.
No.
Damn it. I screwed up. Need to read better. All right. Thanks, bro.
Yep. All right. Catch you all next week. Peace.
Hello, it's Marcus from the 808. I got big news, brah. 808 Hawaiian Restaurant is now open in Beaverton. Yep.